In this video, I want to talk to you about how do you handle a situation when you don't have a lease, you just have a tenant that is living there month to month. I'm Justin Woodall with Iron Horse Property Management. Recently, we've taken over some properties that some investors or clients of ours have recently purchased. And oftentimes when they make that purchase, especially if they're buying it from someone who has been self-managing, they're on a month-to-month lease. They're not on a lease that has a set expiration date. I think oftentimes when it's self-managed, it's just because the individual just doesn't remember to renew the lease or doesn't make it a priority and it doesn't happen. So that tenant falls month to month. Other times they're month to month because that individual knows they're going to sell. They want to be able to potentially tell the tenant they need to move out so that someone can occupy it as an owner occupant. So there are various reasons that a tenant may be month to month. But let's just say you find yourself in that situation as an investor where you own a property and the tenant is month to month. There is no lease and you need to move that tenant out in order to move a new tenant in. What are the laws around that? Or let's say that you purchase a property from an individual. There is no lease, they're month to month, and oftentimes you find that that property may be under rented. That tenant's used to paying $500 a month and the market rent is $1,000 a month. It's not likely that that tenant can pay twice what they're paying now. So most of the time they have to move, find another location, and then you can move a new tenant in that can afford and does want to pay $1,000 a month. You find yourself in that situation, what do? What do the laws in the state of Georgia say that you need to do? When they're on a month-to-month lease, the landlord is required to give the tenant a 60-day written notice and put it in writing, because otherwise there's no way to document it if you find yourself in court or in front of a judge. But a 60-day notice is required from the landlord to the tenant to say, I need you to move in 60 days. So if you want them out by the end of August, you need to give that notice by the end of June. So that way they've got July and August, and then they are to start packing up and finding a new place and move. If you're a tenant and you need to move, find yourself in the month-to-month lease, there is no lease with a firm termination on it. The state law says that you have to give the landlord a 30-day notice. Not uncommon. The laws tend to be a little more favorable to tenants oftentimes, and that's okay. As long as you know what they are, we can operate within them. Hope that's helpful if you find yourself in a month-to-month lease situation. And if you're a property owner, manager, need some help with management, need some advice, feel free to reach out to us at Iron Horse Property Management.